Hello everyone and welcome to another Tutorial Thursday video. My name is Swiss, and for this week we're going to be going over a comprehensive guide on using Snake in the neutral and how to use Snake in the neutral. If you guys enjoy the content, like and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, let's go ahead, let's dive right in, and let's get it. So Snake as a character has a lot of very strong moves, which primarily helps his neutral and being so good in the first place. Keeping neutral and maintaining neutral for Snake is very, very good as well. Now there's a lot of Snake players that plays the neutral differently, and this is what the purpose of this video is to help you guys and give you guys tips on actually changing up your neutral, making it better, and pretty much going from there. Now, Snake has a lot of tools, like I said. He has projectiles and he has really good normals as well. And mainly because, you know, they're pretty fast. Some of them have disjoints, so they're really, really good as far as keeping opponents out in general too. Now we're going to start with his normals because I think it's very appropriate to start that way. And the biggest thing that I feel is really good is going to be down tilt. And the reason that I say that is having down tilt is very fast. It's frame 6. It has a really good disjoint as well. So basically what this is going to do is it's going to stuff characters out from coming in. So if an opponent is just running at you, trying to dash attack you or dash grab you or anything like that, you have down tilt available to stuff them out for doing so. And it works very, very well in my opinion and my experience. So I highly recommend having down tilt out and ready if you notice that your opponent is running at you. Now, not only that, but it also places Snake in crouch. And in doing so, when Snake's in crouch, some characters actually cannot grab Snake while he's crouched. Now, most of them are him back facing, such as this. So you can like back face if you want and then down tilt the other way. But there are some grabs where he can still crouch facing them, and he can crouch under the grab. So that's one thing too. And even in doing so, crouching in general can also remove yourself from getting hit from certain aerials as well. And you can crawl back and then down tilt, so you kind of like space it out that way. So that's again another reason why down tilt is very good in the neutral, because it mixes with the crouch. So you'll be able to crouch, you'll be able to get, it's going to be harder for you to get hit. You have the down tilt, which has a pretty large disjoint and comes out frame 6, which is pretty fast as well. After that, we're going to have some other moves, which is dash attack. Now, dash attack is basically what's going to help you in either one of two things. Either getting inside to pretty much bring the neutral into an advantage state for you, or it's going to be used as pretty much a burst option if your opponent's coming at you. So pretty much like I said with the down tilt, if someone is coming at you and then you decide, you know, I'm just going to dash attack you, then that's another good way of challenging your opponent for actually coming at you or running at you or anything like that. So that's one thing that would be very good to have as well. So you'll have dash attack and you have down tilt. Also leading back to down tilt also down tilt will also anti-air as well, which is very good. If they miss their aerial, something like that, you could still down tilt them. So that's a good anti-air as well. Dash attack is also a decent anti-air because it covers like a little bit above his head. So so if someone is jumping at you, you could try to anti-air them with dash attack as well. So if they jump at you, you could try to dash attack them like that, and then you can kind of anti-air them that way. So that's another reason to have it. You know, it has a little bit of invulnerability in the beginning of the down tilt with his arms and head too, so that's another good reason to have it. After that, we're going to be going over the F tilt. Now, the F tilt is pretty much, it's not necessarily used too much in neutral. You mainly want to use it like up close, but it's just a good option to have because it's frame 4. So if you want like something really fast to get that out, that's going to be like a frame 4 option, and jab as well. So you have those available to, again, stuff out your opponents. Now, it's not going to be as good as down tilt or dash attack, or even up tilt, but it's there nonetheless if you just want like a really fast option in general, because of jab is frame 3, F tilt's frame 4, down tilt's frame 6, up tilt's frame 6, dash attack is frame 5. So that gives you, again, that gives you some room to actually decide like what option you want to choose. If you want range, if you want speed, and pretty much go from there. Typically though, in my opinion, with all the moves that we just went over, I think down tilt works the best. And then the dash attack too. If they're coming at you, you do have obviously the up tilt, and you can wall them out with back air as well if you would like. So if someone is coming at you, you have the back air available as well. And you can even couple it with a grenade, such as that. And that could help. That could help as well. Now, after the normals, which we pretty much just went over, this is where Snake is really going to shine, and it's going to be his specials. And we're obviously going to start out with the grenade, of course. So with the grenade, it comes out frame 1, if you guys didn't know that already. So frame 1 for the grenade, basically it comes out extremely fast. And then you got the throws. You have the regular throw, which is just by releasing the B button. If you hold back and then let go, then he'll do the light throw, or some people call it the light lob. And then if you hold forward and let go of the B button, he'll do a hard throw. So in this case, you have pretty much 3 throws already. And then if you hold the shield button and pick it up with the A button and then throw it, you have another way of throwing the grenade as well, whether you use the A button or you use it like a smash attack by picking it up, throwing it that way, or just using your C stick. So this is where Snake's neutral really shines, because you're going to be able to pressure your opponent while not being in front of them at the same time, because obviously it's a projectile. So you're going to have grenades over here, and then your opponent's going to be forced to move, or they're going to be stuck in shield because of the grenades, or they're just going to get hit. So they have to really move, and then that's where you have those options of down tilt, up tilt, dash attack to try to cover those options too, if they were to jump at you or if they ran at you or anything like that. Otherwise, if they roll back or they run back, then that just gives you, again, time to still do what you want to do as far as setting up pressure for the neutral. That's why Snake's neutral is so strong. Just, you know, and that's only grenades. We haven't really gone into the other projectiles as well, but grenades is definitely a really good tool, because of the fact that you can pressure your opponent in the neutral while they're going to have a hard time kind of moving around the grenades. At least most of the casts would. Some characters will have a better time getting around them than others, obviously. And that's where one thing just to mention too, like in the neutral, like what we're going over is obviously matchup dependent. Like it's not going to work for every single matchup, but for the most part, it's going to work in most matchups. Now, some characters have really good counters, such as speed, agility, aerial movement, projectiles of their own, and so on and so forth. So you definitely got to make sure you keep that in mind, that your neutral play in one matchup might have to change in a different matchup. So be mindful of that. So after the grenades, again, you can pressure them from far away, and then if they decide to move at you, then you have, you know, the anti-air options, down tilt, up tilt, back air, dash attack, or if they just run at you from on the ground, then obviously you still have those burst options to stuff them out for doing so. And that's going to help because of range in general too. You also have grabs, which is going to assist you in regards of whip punishes. So you can pivot grab, and Snake's pivot grab is pretty good. You can always look at the frame data, and I'll post it up on the video right here as well. But you can see that Snake's pivot grab is definitely pretty solid, pun intended. So after grenades, we're going to go into the next special. That's going to be his Nikita. Now, the Nikita is very situational as far as matchups goes. So as far as people that have characters that have like really good air mobility or speed in general, Nikita might be a little bit harder to use, but it can still stuff out characters that aren't, like players that aren't really expecting Nikita. Because as soon as this Nikita comes out like that, if they run at you, without respecting anything, they're gonna get hit by that Nikita. So that could help too. But if they're far away, such as like how at a distance I am with Peach currently, and I try to Nikita, then obviously they have the speed to just run in and hit me before I can cancel the Nikita. One thing with using Nikita in neutral, in my opinion, is that one, you want to cover where you think your opponent's going to be if there's no grenades around. But two, if there's a grenade already covering the ground, then pushing the Nikita in the air is a solid option in my opinion, because what it's going to do is it's going to cover their jump. Because like I said before, when there's a grenade in front of them, they're either forced a shield or they have to move somewhere to get out of the grenade, to escape the grenade, so they don't sit in one spot, because they don't want to be pressured by grenade. And in doing so, putting that Nikita in the air is what's going to help you cover that option for them jumping. Now also as well, when it comes to the Nikita, you definitely should be ready to cancel it if anything bad were to happen, such as you feel like you're gonna miss, or they just, as soon as you notice that they ran by it, you definitely want to make sure you're ready to cancel it on a moment's notice. Because again, Snake's Nikita has a lot of end lag behind it when you cancel it, so that's why you need to be prepared at any point in time. They might just get by the Nikita, so you have to be ready to cancel it. Nikita can also shield poke as well, so if you're pressuring your opponent a lot with two grenades and a Nikita, let's say, and they're just sitting in shield, you have the Nikita to aid you in using the explosion hitbox to actually shield poke them. And what I like to do is, if I notice my opponent's shield is low, then I'll take the Nikita and I'll just blow it up like right in front of them, something like right there. And in doing so, if their shield is small, they're going to get shield poked usually. So keep that in mind too. So it's a very good option to have. Again, you're being able to pressure your opponent from range, but just know that the Nikita has a lot of end lag behind it. After that, we're going to be going over the C4. Now, C4 usage is very stage dependent. You can always go back to my stage videos where I went over every single stage on how to use Snake on those stages, for the legal stages, that is, for tournament legal stages. And C4, generally, you're going to want to place them in areas where you know your opponent's going to be at. So again, if you feel like your opponent's a rushdown character, then try to get it in like a center stage. Or if you notice your opponent is holding center stage a lot and using projectiles to try to poke at you, you know, someone like K-Rule, let's say, you know, having this C4 right here just stuffs that option. So they have to be either up close to you, which they probably don't want to do because you're going to have grenades out, and then you have down tilt, up tilt, F tilt, dash attack. So they might not want to deal with that. Or they might have to stay farther away from the C4 and use projectiles here, which for the most part, characters that like to camp center stage, it's mainly because their projectiles don't reach that far. So if they have to be this far, then the projectiles might not reach you, so you might have a more clear disadvantage as well. So keeping C4 center stage could work, or you could place them right behind you and then you can camp behind it, and then if they do come in, then you got the C4 to actually cover you as well. But this is also a good way of having neutral set up, because in the neutral, when you're placing a C4, you're at the same time not only protecting yourself or using it as a bait or offensive tool in neutral, you're also getting stage control. You're actually controlling the stage with the explosive that you could detonate at any point in time, or just wait 26.6 seconds. So that's one thing on why the C4 is very important, and that's why you see when Snake players start their match, instantly they drop a C4, because they want to get that center stage and then control that neutral as soon as possible. And that's why it's very important to drop C4 as quick as you can once the match starts, just to be able to get that. Now after that, the only other thing to really go over is going to be up smash. Now there are like aerials and stuff that I didn't go over, and that's primarily because they're not intensely useful in in the neutral, to be honest. Like, back air is decent. Neutral air is okay if you want to call out a jump. Same thing with back air. Back air is a good option too. But for the most part, though, as far as the aerials goes, you're not going to really use it too much in neutral. They're just, but they are there if you, in case you did want to. But again, the tilts and the projectiles are basically where the neutral shines for Snake. Now after that, we have up smash. Up smash is pretty much the only other the only last thing, in my opinion, for neutral. And you generally just want to do this if your opponent is jumping at you or running at you, obviously. Now, granted, up smash does have a lot of end lag, so you kind of want to make sure you have some space when you're using it. You don't want to be like right here when you use it, because in doing so, they can literally just punish you because there's so much lag behind it. And the characters with good dash attacks can just dash attack you through it and escape the mortar as well, so there's no trade happening. They can grab you and then use the grab armor to throw you and then not get hit by the mortar as well. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind when using up smash. Make sure you have some room. You can couple it with the light toss grenade as well, and in doing so, what's going to happen is it's just going to force the opponent to respect you mainly, because usually when they come in, when you're doing a setup like that, they have no choice but to either take a trade or they're going to get hit, unless again they have like a really good dash attack or something, or they could time a grab and then throw you to not get hit by the mortar or the grenade because of super armor, or grab armor I should say. So after that, now that we've kind of gone over the moveset, it's pretty much at a point of just mixing it all up, right? So in the neutral, again, like when you start the match, you automatically start in neutral. So no player has an advantage towards each other. So in this case being said, the first thing that you generally want to do is get the C4 down. That's the first thing you want to do. And again, you're asserting stage control, and you either want to use it as a defense, so you could drop it and then get behind it, and you can start camping that way in case they run up to you. You got C4, or you could try to place it like center stage and then have that C4 ready if you were to instead be offensive rather than defensive. So that's one thing that you generally want to do. You want to get that C4 down immediately, and then at that point, if you choose the defensive option, then you just kind of camp around it or camp behind it. You can use the Nikita, have the up smash if you want, and then just pretty much go from there. And then once you realize, if you guys have been playing neutral for a long time and you realize, hey, the C4 has been here for a while, then detonate it and then just place it back down if you want to continue that process. Otherwise, if not, you can detonate it. You could try to go a little bit more offensive, and then try to get something off of that C4, or just use it for later. If your opponent just stumbles around it, then you have that C4 right there as well. But that's pretty much what you would want to do as far as playing the neutral goes. If you notice your opponent's a rushdown character, then you can like still throw grenades and stuff, but you kind of want to keep them near you more than anything. So you have to keep in mind what kind of character are you facing, and try to keep that into your play style of how exactly do you want to play the neutral. Do you want to play defensive, have grenades around you, up smash, have a Nikita, Z-name Nikita? So you have to figure out what you want to do. Or do you want to just try to stuff them out with down tilts, so you can light throw, down tilt, and do stuff like that. So it's, again, make sure you know what kind of character you're playing. So if you see like, oh, hey, this is a Samus. All right, so what I'm going to do is either I'm going to do this and try to be offensive, or I'm going to like try to play offensive by coming in with grenades, by playing the neutral that way, or I'm just going to play defensive and try to camp Samus out as well. So that's one thing you gotta focus on. Or if you're fighting someone like a Lucina or a Swordy in general, all right, okay, so I need to just play a little defensive, make sure he doesn't come in, and then, you know, see if I could just keep him out in general so he can't actually do anything. So that's why it's important to state again that the neutral varies depending on the character that you're playing, and not only that, and it's also going to affect, you know, your opponent as well, depending on how their playstyle is too. So other than that though, that's pretty much how you would want to tackle the neutral with Snake. I don't necessarily have much else to add here, so if you guys did want to add some extra stuff, feel free to list it in the comment section, and I'll definitely love to read and comment back as well. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I have other social media platforms down below: Twitch, Twitter, Patreon, etc. Like and subscribe to the channel if possible, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye now.
Never duplicate you, never multiply two. Everyone copy and paste, mask all up in on their face. Disney fantasy MPH, they are cool with their complacent. You feel it in you, then you brush it off you. Ain't significant, but you got something we want, and your whole life is a taunt, cause you will not just comply. Waking up for your day.